Welcome, my name is Dan Dombrowski. Thank you for allowing me to share a reflection with you today on the gospel for the sixth Sunday of Easter. It's the gospel from John, chapter 15, verses 9 through 17. This is one of the gospel readings that can be selected by couples that are celebrating holy matrimony. So you can count on the fact that Jesus is going to have a good lesson for us about love in this one. Not the I love milk duds and pizza kind of love, but what real love is and what that looks like. This reading takes place during the Last Supper, and Jesus is explaining that he has loved us and that he longs for us to remain in his love, to stay in his friendship, so that we can experience the indescribable joy that flows from true love. It's so important to him that he gives us his one commandment, a new commandment that perfectly summarizes all of his teachings, his life and his death. Love one another as I love you. Love one another as I love you. So, how does Jesus love us? Jesus' love is a self-giving love. The greater the gift of self, the greater the love. In fact, Jesus says, no one has greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. When we put our lives at the service of others, when we live in order to give and not take, when we're willing to suffer that someone else can rejoice, then we're talking about the kind of love that Jesus is referring to. Loving for the good of the other. So what does that look like in today's world? Here's one example from my life that I've recently thought about with the passing of my dad that illustrates, for me, hopefully it does the same for you, kind of what this looks like. So first of all, a quick background. I'm incredibly blessed to be married to my wonderful wife of 32 years this month. A few years into our marriage, I couldn't help but wonder, finally had the courage to ask, how I got so lucky to marry such a beautiful, loving, faithful, supporting woman. We had met our senior year in high school. She was our class valedictorian. She was very popular, and she'd already been attending summer classes and knew with all of her heart that she was going to be a teacher. Me, on the other hand, not the sharpest tool in the shed, not the most popular, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So I asked her, what did you see in me? What attracted you to me? She answered without hesitating, your parents. I said, what? Not the answer I was expecting. She said it was the love that they had for each other and for the others in their lives. She figured that since I grew up being exposed to that kind of love, I was bound to have been positively impacted by it. My parents' marriage was a reflection of Christ's love in the world for others to see. Fortunately for me, my wife saw it in my parents so many years ago and acted on it. I would not be who I am today had she not. It's comforting, as I grieve the loss of my dad, to think about all of the positive impacts my parents' marriage, reflecting Christ's love, had on my family, and no doubt on countless others that they encountered. I pray we can all love for the good of the other, no matter the circumstances in life, so that we can bring that Christ light into the world, a world that really needs it. So now, with Christ, as it said in today's gospel, go and bear fruit that will remain. Thank you, and God bless.